Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the Arena Open. In this video, if I make it to 7 wins before getting 2 losses in matches, I will win $2,000. If I get to 6 wins, I win $1,000, and the rest are just some pretty nice gem rewards. So everyone's a winner on day 2 of the Arena Open as long as you get 1 win. And it's just a fun event to play some high stakes sealed. Before I dive in and look at my rares, I want to remind you that if you do enjoy this sort of video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and you can subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to catch more of my content. Yeah. Let's open these packs, see what we get. I like how it shows you what you get here. Boom. Nice. I like it. Compulsive Research is a great one. Oh, plus 2 more were opened in sealed packs. Oh ho ho ho. Exciting stuff. Callous Blood Mage is medium, but Shadrix is quite good. The Lisette is quite good. Quandrix Command is good. Compulsive. This is a dud, but other than that, we're pretty solid. Let's see what we're working with here. Okie doke. So when I build a sealed pool, the first thing I like to do is just go through the colors one by one and see what I am working with. So, for example, Expel is a card that I really like having access to, so I'll be like, well, there's one good white card. Pilgrim of the Ages is solid, and then Combat Professor is also decent. But overall, white not looking overwhelmingly powerful. Blue, ooh, Brainstorm. Nice little art here. But Brainstorm's not super good. And I'm only really looking at the premium cards. So Compulsive Research is a really good card. So that's a nice one to have access to. In black, I really like this card, but mostly for the green half. So I'm kind of factoring that as a green card. Hunt for Specimens is really good, especially with Necrotic Fumes. Blood Mage is decent. And then I like Spectre of the Fence quite a bit. Going on towards red, we have really Heated Debate is the best red card we have. And then moving on to green, we have actually decent stuff. We have Field Trip, Master Symmetrist, and Karok Wrangler. So I like the green cards. Let's look at some of our gold cards. So we got Closing Statement, Shadrix, and Rise for Extus. So at least trying to get these 3 cards into the deck is going to be a big priority. And we even have a Silver Quill Campus to help us splash that. So that's key. We have a Rutha. Rutha is one of those cards that I never seem to get to play because I don't really have good blue and red most of the time. But Rutha's a good one. What do we have? In black-green, we have Witherbloom Pledge Mage. The Cauldron is one that I'm not a huge fan of, but I like Restorative Burst. Infused with Vitality is pretty nice. We have some great Quandrix cards. Double the Cultivator. Command. Needlethorn Drake. It's unfortunate that we have no fixing in this pool. Real unfortunate, because I'm generally pretty good at constructing mana bases, I'd say. But this one just doesn't have any mana fixing. So maybe we just have to stick to 2 colors and we can't go too ambitious, which is a bit of a problem. Because ambition is the seed of victory, as they say in Sealed. So sometimes it just happens like that. We could always play Lisette in our Quandrix deck, though we don't. I guess we have this as life gain. We don't really have life gain to go with the Lisette. I guess we have Witherbloom Pledge Mage. Never mind. That's pretty decent. Nice little synergy there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to construct just a straight up blue-green deck and see what that looks like. So blue-green, we've already got a couple of our blue cards in here. I'm not going to add lands just yet. This is only 15 cards, so if we really needed to get there on blue-green... Oh, I didn't add any of my green cards. Symmetrist, Wrangler, that guy. I like Snakeskin Veil. Charge Through is actually decent with the Pledge Mage. It's decent with that Pledge Mage. Impulse, Field Trip. Not a huge fan of the Bayou Groff. Don't know why I have the Infuses in here right now. And then I would play Restorative Burst. It's just a 5-drop. And I think I could play Big Play or 1 Bayou Groff, but I don't need the Bayou Groff. I have a lot of 5-drops already. So I could play Big Play. Or I could just play Archivist. Do I have any things that go well with Reflective? Actually, Golem would actually be pretty good in this deck. If I was playing 2 Charge Through and a Snakeskin Veil. And I guess Quandrix Command, too, could be decent. Right? Only the Golem, never mind. It also works well with an anatomy if I ever get that out of the sideboard. I'm not a huge fan of mathematician. I like the flyer. This one doesn't really have early game plays, which is a little unfortunate. We only have 1/2 drop in this build. But this is like a decent sealed build. It's 2 colors. It's got some nice synergies. It's got the Lisette, which is one of my better cards. It gets to play Compulsive Research. It gets to play Quandrix Command. It does lack early drops, but it's got some good stuff going on. Let's just double check we're not missing any cards that would be really good in it. Big Play does have some synergies with this Golem, but not really overall a card I'm super hyped for. And then, yeah, we could play Reject if we really felt we needed a 2-drop, but I just don't like that card at all. So this is one build, the old blue-green option. We have a couple of learn cards, a couple of just decent spells. So this is one build option. I'm going to shelve it for now, though. We're going to check out our black-white build, because black-white could have some good stuff. So white gives us this, double those, this guy, double Pillar Drop Warden. Black, we'd get Ingredient, Valentine, double Poet, Hunt for Specimens, Callous Blood Mage, Spectre, Eye Twitch, Rise of Exodus, Silverquill, Closing Statement, Silverquill Apprentice, Silverquill Campus. This is 20 cards right now. We could play this. It combos with exactly none of our cards. I guess it combos with that. The last few playables in this deck. Oh no, we get to play double Witherbloom Pledge Mage. This deck is also interesting. We could play that card as well. Defend the Campus is decent removal. Huh. The fact that we have no fixing at all, like we don't have... Letter of Acceptance is a card that I like to look for fixing. I've actually been pretty happy with Campus Guides. Environmental Sciences is pretty good for fixing, though I actually haven't gotten to have a deck with that at this point. Archivist is sometimes solid, but I have a lot of expensive cards that are just better. This card doesn't particularly do much. This is like very marginal as well. If you don't have the access to the Lisette half. So that's another build option. What if I wanted to go black-green and splash white with some sketchier mana? Let's just redo the whole build with that in mind. So if I wanted to go black-green and splash white, I would go this guy, this guy, this guy, those two, that guy, this guy. My black is actually pretty solid. It's got some nice early game, but then I go green. This could actually help me find the mana that I need. Biograph is actually pretty decent. It's got 3 things to eat, potentially. Though I really don't want to eat Valentine. Maybe I'd play 1 Biograph. Field Trip, Symmetrist, Wrangler, Servant. And then I have 1 Silverquill Campus to help me splash Shadrix. I would only splash Shadrix and the Closing Statement, I think. Black-green gains me access to double Infuse and double Pledge Mage. And the Cauldron / Restorative Burst. I could play the Quandrix Pledge Mage. And this thing works well with Infuse. It works well with the Snakeskin Veil. And it works well with Anatomy, so I could play this guy as well. If I wanted to. Huh. I could play double Charge through as well. I like this build as well. It gets to play some of my powerful cards that I didn't get to play in the other version. So I get to play Shadrix, Closing Statement, and Rise of Extus, which are 3 really good cards. I do have 1 dual land to help support it. Just getting hosed on these dual lands being red-white, which is unfortunate, but you know, can't always get what you need. So those are options as well. The only red card that I actually like is this Heated Debate, which is kind of bizarre. And then I have a couple good blue-red cards, which is kind of what I found, is I never have good blue and red. I only have like 1 good red card. But blue-red is not really a color combination I can support. I think Quandrix Cultivator and Command are both very good. I feel very safe whenever I have those cards going. This is 28 cards. I'm not a huge fan of the Biograph, not gonna lie. This is basically a 4-drop because I always want to cast it as the 4-mana half pretty much. Servant is not a great card. Golem is pretty cute with charge through, and Pledge Mage is good with charge through, and this is pretty decent with charge through, and Wrangler's good with charge through. I think this build looks pretty nice. I would just have to make a couple of final cuts. Maybe Unwilling Ingredient could get cut. And I could go down to 16 lands because I have this to search up a land, and then I have 2 cantrips and Impulse. $17 lands is probably better just to make sure I hit my colors. So this is 13 creatures. These are my lessons. I'm going to get Expanded Anatomy a lot, Fractal Summoning a lot, and Necrotic Fumes a lot, I think. Or probably Introduction to Annihilation. But if I'm using Hunt for Specimens, this is 1 learn card, 2 learn cards, 3 learn cards, which is pretty decent, 4 learn cards. So a decent amount of learning is going on here. I really wish I had an Environmental Sciences, but it's a shoulda, woulda, coulda in Limited. You can't like wish for stuff that you don't have. It just doesn't make sense to hope for the unexpected. Just like any fixing would have been real nice. I'm just lacking in that department. I don't even have a Archway Commons. So it really limits what I can do with this pool. I really kind of have to stick to 2 colors and then maybe a light splash. And this is the only dual land that I have that's remotely useful. So, like, I think I have that land, and then I have these 2 red-white ones. And that's it for lands. So, I kind of like this one. Blue-green has potential as well. I think, so if I was playing black-white, I could splash Heated Debate pretty easily with my 2 lands. And I could splash Study. But I don't know how good black-white is in this pool. This one seems pretty good. It's got a lot of powerful stuff going on. So this is one build. I'm going to try out the blue build again. I'm going to try a Sultai build now, I think. I already looked at the Sultai, maybe. But I like this Compulsive Research. The Aerialists are pretty solid. Not this guy. This is decent. Negate is good. It's mostly just for these gold cards that I really like blue-green, like Double Cultivator and a Pledge Mage and a Quandrix Command. And Needlethorn Drake is real nice. And I get access to both of those. The Restorative Burst. think I have a nice little combo package here with the double charge through Snakeskin Veil and then the Lisette. Gives me some really good stuff here. So blue-green, and it works with the Karak Wrangler. Like, this is a fine build. I think Springwain Servant is comparable to the Bathotician, honestly. I found the 2-life to be pretty helpful. The big problem with this deck is it doesn't have any 2-drops. But it does have some powerful stuff. It's got Restorative Burst, which can be really good. It's got Karak Wrangler and some cantrips. It's got Pledge Mage plus Lisette. It's got some flying. It's got some nice ramp effects. It's got good card draw. Honestly, this build looks pretty appealing too. I can't splash Rutha. That's a question from the chat, but for the folks who are watching on YouTube. But splashing red is just so tricky because ideally you need 3 sources of a splash, and so I can't splash in any color combination that doesn't involve black-white, really, because I don't want to have to put 3 mountains in my deck to splash Rutha. It's just not worth it to destabilize my mana on casting every other spell. This build, I like it. It gives up some of my best cards, and my best cards that I'm giving up are Shadrix, Rise of Exodus, and Closing Statement. In exchange, I gain access to Quandrix Command, 2 Cultivators, and some other stuff there. But it's like 2 Cultivators and Quandrix Command. And then I also gain access to Compulsive Research, which is really good. I think this is one potential build. I don't like Bayou Gruff at all. I already have a lot of big 5-drop things. So we'll save this build mentally. Brainstorm's also an option, I guess. Do we have any shuffling? We have Adventurous Impulse. We have Field Trip. Brainstorm just is kind of a do-nothing a lot of the time, but it is a cantrip. But it's just worse than Charge Through because Charge Through combos with the Golem. Like, I kind of like this build. It just doesn't have 2-drops, but that's what you have to deal with sometimes. So this is one build. So we'll keep that in mind. So blue-green is a build. And then the other build is black-green. Nope, don't want the infusion. The other build is black-green. That splashes white. This one has 2 Arrogant Poets, which are nice for being more aggressive, but they're not really good defensive bodies, which is kind of what this deck would rather have. This deck gains access to Rise of Exodus. The blue-green deck has no removal, which is, as you might expect, a massive problem. Massive problem. Kind of makes this deck more appealing to me, honestly. It also still gets a lot of the same combo packages. Not high on Archivist, chat. It's just kind of clunky and slow. I'd rather, if I have enough 5-drops or big creatures, I don't need to worry about it, really. So I think giving up on Quandrix Command and the 2 Cultivators might have to be a sacrifice I make, because I just need to have access to Rise of Exodus and Closing Statement as removal spells. I also kind of like this Spectre of Fens. Hunt for Specimens also is good with getting me this Necrotic Fumes. Obviously, I wish I could splash blue for like Compulsive Research and like the Quandrix Command, but I just can't splash in this pool, really. I could also potentially play this Expel. I was feeling cheeky. Okay, so I can cut the Servant. This one also has some earlier drops, which is nice. And then I think I have to play 17 lands just to make color requirements work. Even though I do have some cantrips and stuff. I could play, I could cut an Arrogant Poet. Poet's okay, though. It's an early drop that can trade with things. And this one has a lot of learn in it, which I like. So if I'm playing 2 planes, and then I can play... So what would the mana look like for this deck? So this is... I need to cut 1 more card. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drops. So I have to play 17 lands here. Even with a couple of these cantrips and the Adventurous Impulse. Impulse is kind of like a land in many cases, and I have the Field Trip. Maybe I could get greedy. Getting greedy is sometimes okay. What's my worst card, though? Maybe Restorative Burst. Maybe the Golem. Fuse is good with Lisette. Interesting stuff here. Trying to figure out what my worst card is. 13 creatures, 11 non-creatures. Probably like Arrogant Poet or an Infuse. I'm going to cut an Infuse, maybe. I do like Infuse, though. It's good with a lot of my cards. It's good with this Trample. Oh, this is tough. Real tough. Yeah, I'm going to maybe run 16 lands here. So let's see. We're going to want 2 white sources. Bum, ba, bum, ba, ba, bum. That gives us 3 planes. 2, 9, 14, 15, 16, 17. That gives me 9, 16, 7. This is 9, 16, 17. If I cut a swamp, that gives me 7 black sources, which is not very many. Especially considering I have double green. The mana is trash in this deck. Nothing ventured, nothing gained sometimes, as they say. I'm mostly playing it for the Restorative Burst half. Oh, someone in chat asked what my thoughts on were on the Cauldron. I don't think the Cauldron itself is very good a lot of the time. But the Restorative Burst can be good. Maybe that's my worst card. I don't think the front half is good. Kind of like that I can get back my Dragon or my Wrangler. It's a nice top deck late game, which my deck doesn't have all that many of. I think I'm going to cut Infused with Vitality, maybe. For another Forest, I think. I have double green card, double green card. let's just count the pips. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 greens. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, and this is also double green. Yeah, I like having 8 green sources, I think. So yeah, that should be the build, I think. Infuse is nice. I like it. But I don't know what I was cut for it. Maybe we cut a charge through. I like the charge through combos with the Pledge Mage and the Wrangler and the Pledge Mage and the Golem. I've got like a lot of mini combos with it. So having access to it is nice. I would like to fit this in the deck, though. Another thing that I did yesterday was I main decked past summoning, which was actually pretty solid in one of my builds. Yeah, we're going to run it like this, I think. Hoping for the best, as they say. And if it doesn't work out in the first match, we can always switch it up if we think there's things we can learn. I think the big problem with the blue-green deck is it just has no removal spells. We don't have any mage duels. We don't have any burying books. Just not really a fantastic removal suite there. Even though we do have double cultivator. But you work with what you're given, and we'll see how this does. I'll see you folks in the matches. Before I get to the matches, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support me and my work over at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and special thanks to those who support me at the credits level. It is thanks to Patreon support that I'm able to continue improving the quality of my videos and that I'm able to produce as many videos as I do. As my way of saying thank you to patrons, there are a host of cool little rewards, noteworthily the reward that gives you access to my card-by-card grade spreadsheet for Strixhaven, and then there's also rewards like being put in the credits and even coaching for the higher tiers. Thank you so much to all of my patrons, and without further ado, let's get to the matches. Welcome to round 1. We are going to keep this hand. We are on the draw. An ingredient, you say? So they have unwilling ingredient. Ooh, okay. Clever Lumimancer. I'm writing down all the cards I see so I can inform my sideboarding choices. This could end badly. Ooh. Nice. Lumimancer does nothing. Shocker. Probably just going to jam the Pledge Mage here. They're missing land drops, but I have quite a few good things going on. Okay, they hit another land. This card's really tough to use. So none of their creatures have died, so this doesn't really do as much. And the next turn I can Rise of Extasit. What does that mean? So I'm taking 5 here. Maybe they don't care if I kill the Lumimancer because they have a spell to get it back. I think no matter how this ends up going, I end up with a 2-for-1 on the Lumimancer, generally. Sure. Oh, and then they have like a lash to finish it off or something. Sure. Beautiful. Get rid of Lash of Malice. I have a lot of learn cards, so I'm going to be able to get this fractal summoning later. So I think for now, I just want pest summoning to help me survive. And also is because I can start putting counters on them with the Shadrix. So next turn I can go Quandrix Pledge Mage into pest summoning. And I'll immediately have a lot of defenses. Pillar Drop Rescuer, sure. Change of plans. I'm going to get this into play to block their Pillar Drop Rescuer. I generally play pretty straight up the first game when I don't know what's in their deck. Like I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their cards. I don't really know what they're working with, and so I'm not going to like play around too much here. They might just be trying to draw a card with this. If they had a combat trick, they probably would have attacked with this guy too. Am I okay taking 1 damage to prevent them from drawing a card? Probably. I have so much action in the hand that I'm probably okay just chilling for a little bit. Okay, that's a great draw. That can do some good work. I don't think I have room to cast Impulse this turn. This thing costs a decent amount of mana, but I can't do that. Okay, what do I want to do with this Shadrix? I think I want to use it to buff my entire team after I've played Pest Summoning. So I think I'm going to play a setup turn where I go like Pest Summoning and I start attacking with this thing. Then next turn I can put a counter on all my guys and like let them draw a card and lose a life. This thing's pretty scary. I'm not using this white mana, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to play around Expel by targeting this guy. Ooh, that's a good one. And then I'm going to hold up my Infuse with Vitality.
Hey, hope you're doing well in the open.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Okay, Pilgrim of the Ages. That card is so annoying, gotta be said. I have been unable to attack into that so many times. They almost attacked with this guy. Oh, obviously I have to play 1 green here. They can chump. They could also double block. Gonna hold up Infuse again. This trample could actually be really useful if they do end up jumping. Leech Fanatic. So they're a pretty aggressive deck. They have one card in hand. I'm betting it's a spell. Kick things off with this. This guy's already pretty scary. He's going to get counters on his own. So I'm going to start buffing up my other guys. I think first things first, I'm going to buff up one of these. I'm going to buff up my flyer. I think the Poet is a good choice. Just because I'd rather have spells at this point. And I already have a land drop to make. Then I can play Shadrix. I can let them draw a card, and I can put a counter on each creature I control. Or I could let them create a 2/1. Yeah, I think them getting a 2/1 is probably better. Is a 2/1 better than their average draw? I don't know. I'll leave back my 2 flyers to be defensive bodies. Four, 6, 8, 14. So they have to block something. And if they only chump this thing, I could potentially trample over with another charge through. They have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 power. Maybe I was supposed to attack with this thing too. So this is going to be 8, so they'll take 7. So got him. So they did not have anything there. So they had 1, 2 drop. They had a lot of early drops. So maybe I want my own unwilling ingredient to help combat that. Springmane Servant definitely has potential. Did we see any combat tricks? We saw a Lash of Malice, Beaming Defiance, Extus, Pilgrim of Ages, Leech Fanatic. We saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of their cards, I think. Yeah, we saw 8 of their cards. I think I want to bring in the Unwilling Ingredient right off the bat. Not really going to bring in Essence Infusion still. And then I kind of want to bring in this Servant as an extra defensive option. Infused Vitality does get a little bit wrecked by Lash of Malice a lot of the time. But that could be another option as well. It does give me some life gain. And Black-White might have flyers, so reach creatures like Cogwork Archivist could go up in value. What seems bad against them? Gotta be said, I really liked Charge Through, how that performed. This thing's gonna be good to help me stabilize. I might need Restorative Burst a little bit less, because they might have, yeah, I might just need that late game push a little bit less if I already have a bit more late game stuff than them. So maybe I can cut this for like an Unwilling Ingredient, which still gets me some card advantage if I trade it. Probably gonna stick with the one Infuse, I think. It is awkward against their removal spells sometimes. I'm gonna cut the Restorative Burst, I think, because I'm on the draw. If I'm on the once I'm back on the play, I can cut the Unwilling Ingredient, but having an extra blocker could be nice, especially one that just replaces itself eventually. I don't know. Okay, this is a great hand. I'll get this down as soon as I can. Okay, turn 2 Unwilling Ingredient. What does that mean? I'm going to save the hunt for after I play Quandrix Pledge Mage. So if they hit me, I'll hit them back. So I can potentially exile their graveyard with this thing. Okay, they don't take the bait. So we've seen both of those cards already. Lumancer. So we've seen all of these cards before. Oh, we have not seen that one quite yet. This one is quite good, especially with this. We're just going to play things straight up. This thing into this thing into buff our whole team seems really good. We can even go like this thing to make 2 creatures and then buff our whole team. We haven't seen any removal yet. If they attack with Lumimancer, we'll block with the Poet. So this could be Lash of Malice or Beaming Defiance. I think we're just going to block like this and this, because that plays around them having either of those cards. If they want to buff their guy here... we could also do that. If they have Beaming Defiance, they'll only get a 1-for-1. This thing doesn't do any damage to us, so we don't need to block it. If they have Beaming Defiance here, they can kill our Pledge Mage. And then once these things are dead, we'll get to exile their whole graveyard. And essentially 2-for-1 them there. Always block unconventionally if you can. Oh, so they do have something to kill my Lisette. Interesting. Defiant Strike. Okay, that's good to know about. And Beaming Defiance. So they are 2-for-1ing themselves to kill my Lisette. And now that Lisette's gone, I don't have to worry about getting the Pledge Mage into play quite so quickly. So I can afford to take a turn to go Callous Blood Mage, exile your graveyard. Get this guy rolling. And I will get a Fractal. And if they attack, I'll just block with the 1/1. Next turn I can play my 5/5. Okay. If they get like +2/+2 counters for this thing, I'll just chump it. Because I don't want to take 6. Inkling summoning, sure. Four damage. Yeah, I don't want to take 4 because this thing's a problem and I don't have an answer to it right now. Now I have an answer. That's pretty nice. Attack first. Twitch can trade here. This thing can block Lumimancer if I really want to. And then this thing can go get my like +2/+2 and Vigilance thing. Next turn I'm making a 5/5, a 4/4 or 5/5, depending on if I draw a land or not. So they have Inkling. And I can get... I'm so far ahead on board that I think I'm just going to get Introduction to Annihilation. For if they do play anything scary. I'm going to be at 14 life after I do this, so I'm pretty safe. Ah, exiling their graveyard works wonders yet again. Oh, okay, I can't cast that yet. So I can play Fractal Summoning before combat to buff this guy up again, which I will do. Attack with everything. They could have Lash of Mouth to trade there. I'll try to block there. And if they had 2 spells, they still can't kill me, I don't think. Got the win. 1-0. Okay, chat. I'm in for the between rounds question and answer if you have any questions. Thanks, Zep Chat. Nice 1-1 down. Yep, felt pretty good. As we could see, it was going to be hard to cast Closing Statement in that game, but... Whew. Thank you so much, Waddledy Plays. Thanks, bro. It was kind of tough to build, but I think it's going to perform pretty well. Okie doke. See you folks after the match. Okay, we're playing against Feisty Rabbit. We will play first. And we will keep this hand. Impulse can find us something useful. This card's more of a late game card anyway, but we can't cast the Shadrix right now, so I think I'm just going to take the 2-drop that I can use to start putting a little pressure on the opponent, because it's like a counter pressure thing. If I pressure them, then they won't be able to pressure me as much. And I'm on the play, so this could do like 4 damage or 6 damage if they don't have any blockers early. Beautiful. And I knew that I had this card in my deck to shuffle back in the other card. That was one other consideration. So now Shadrix is back in the deck. I almost always get Fractal Summoning first. Maybe I'd rather get Pest Summoning early game here. Or even expanded anatomy. I think I'm going to get expanded anatomy. Strange as that sounds. Because that plus Spectre Offends plus Snakeskin Veil could be a game-winning strategy against a deck that maybe lacks interaction. There's the Shadrix. So I've got some evasion. I've got him on a 4-turn clock. I've got protection. I'll shut him down. They should have done it while it was on the stack. So if I top deck a plains, I'm in okay shape. This card doesn't do much for me right now. If I draw a land, I'll probably just start activating Spectre. Do I regret getting expanded anatomy? Not really. I didn't know they were going to have a interaction spell to make me use my Snakeskin Veil at the time. Oh, Dispute. Okay. Sciences, sure. Beautiful. I don't need to use the anatomy yet because I can just use this and it'll accomplish the same goal of doing 2 extra damage. Sure. I'm diversifying the threats. This thing's lethal on its own. This thing's lethal on its own. They now have to deal with both. Okay, so they have Divide by 0. Academic Dispute. They have an environmental sciences in their sideboard. They have a Quandrix Pledge Mage. Looks like they're playing blue-red, splashing white. So what sort of white cards would you splash in blue-red? That's the question. They're probably deciding whether or not they can live. Being able to buy back a Spectre the Fens is going to be really nice. If they don't kill both of them, they're just dead. I really like Spectre the Fens. Yesterday I was playing a deck where I splashed 2 copies of it, like in a fairly decent splash, but they have to make the first action. I'm not going to show them any more cards from my deck. So they didn't have anything early to do, which is interesting. Looks like they struggle against flying. That was a pretty compelling victory, I must say. Didn't see really any interaction. They have Dispute and Divide by 0, so that Dispute's good to know about. Divide by 0 is also really good to know about. So Divide by 0 makes me less likely to want combat tricks like Big Play. Infuse with Vitality should still have potential. I just have to make sure I don't run it into a Divide. Especially because they have the big Quandrix Pledge Mages potentially. Charge Through could be tough to use properly, but I think I'll just keep it like this. Feisty rabbit. Okay, we're on the draw now, presumably. Always important to check, though. Sometimes opponents do strange things. On the draw. Can't cast any of our spells. We do have a white source. I need to draw exactly swamp. And I think I only have 7 swamps in the deck. And then a campus. So I have 8 draws. I have about 3 draw steps. And I have 33 cards left in my deck. So I have like roughly 1 in 4 odds each draw step. I have decent odds of getting there. And if I do get there, I have Shadrix. I'm just going to keep it. I have decent odds of getting there. If I don't get there for like 1 draw step, I can be fine. So I have like 4 draws, honestly. They weren't a super fast deck. Never punished like a beast. But honestly, I think it's fine to keep that sort of hand. It has like one of my best cards, one of my removal spells. And mulliganing is just really detrimental. One of the other things that I have absorbed recently, from, I think LSV was talking, and he was talking to Marshall about it on limited resources, and he said something like, when you're on the draw, you're already, maybe it was on constructed resources, but it was something, it's like when you're on the draw, you can take more risks because you're already not favored. So you maybe need to take like an extra risk to make up for it, which I found very interesting. Sure. Arcane Subtraction. We're learning more and more about their tools of choice. So far, there's nothing that we can't beat. There's nothing that like really drastically warps the way we're going to play the game. I think we're going to get Intro to Prophecy here, so we can scry to find more lands. I don't think we want to use the charge through right now because they could just divide by 0 us or removal spell us, and it's just awkward. Storm Kiln Artist. Well, we want to kill that, so. So we are going to closing statement that. It just gets really, really tough. If they want to block, we're fine with that. Stop on end step. This thing has been really irritating for me, against me, and just making all their spells cost 1 less and generate mana and that sort of thing is really, really tough. Okay, sure. Are they going to cast Sciences? If they do, I think I'll throw out a charge through, just a cantrip. Snakeskin Veil could be real good. Okay, so what could they have? We have seen Academic Dispute. Seen 1 Arcane Subtraction. I think here we are just going to cast Pledge Mage. It's just the most mana efficient option. They can cast something big next turn, but they only have a couple spells in hand. Shadrix can do some good work. Oh. Well, we're going to kill that with our Rise of Exodus when we can. Looks like when we can turns out to be now. And we're going to get fractal summoning now, I think. Or we could get necrotic. I'm going to get necrotic fumes. Hofri Ghost Forge. And they also have Storm Kiln Artist. This is why removal is so important. Like, that blue-green deck would never be able to beat some of these cards that we've been able to just kill. Like, it just can't beat Hofri because it can never kill it. We don't have Mage Duels or really anything to get rid of things. This game is looking very compelling. We don't have a second black source yet. We can find one. Like that. I think we're going to play Shadrax. Shadrix, I mean. I think I'm going to play it post-combat, though. Because I don't really need to buff my whole team. I don't want to draw them extra cards or give them a 2-1. They didn't cast this, which is interesting. I don't want to see what they're learning from their sideboard. And this way this guy gets to attack with his, like, double strike and stuff. So they have 2 arcane subtractions. I'm fairly certain they're dead. So I can necrotic fumes that. Yeah, they're dead. And then I hit them with my flyers. Got the win. Feels pretty good, chat. Feels pretty good. Let's see what chat has to say. Whew. Nice couple of wins there. Feels good. I think the post-combat Shadrix is a very strong play. Ugh. 2 wins. Feels good. We've locked in 4,000 gems. I think the way it works is $100 is like 20,000 gems. So this is like $50 worth of gems. All that good stuff. Ugh. Note-taking focuses me. It also just gives me confidence. It hasn't really come up yet because, as you can see, in Game 1, we didn't really get to see many of their cards. In Game 2, we didn't get to see many of their cards. But in longer matches, it can make a big difference for me. Where I'm just like, oh, these are the cards they have left in their deck that actually matter. One time I actually saw their entire deck. Okay, we're heading back to the no-chat version so I can focus. See you folks on the other side. We win the die roll against Tangrams. We will keep this hand on the play. We got Eye Twitch. It can find Intro to Prophecy to help us find more lands. And this might do like 4 or 5 damage on its own. Do I fire off Charge Through? I don't think so, because if I miss, I can Charge Through with Reflective Golem, and I can always Charge Through after I draw my card. Okay, so I am a little bit punished there. We are going to try to hit a land drop now. Okay. So we don't get there. But it's okay. We can get there in the next turn. Oh, they attack me. Interesting. No blocks. Yeah, no blocks. I'll just play a 2-drop that can trade with the colony. I have a lot of action. Okay, Lash of Malice, good to know about. Mage Hunter. I think I should have attacked there and just taken the 5, taking my licks. Because I think I'm going to have to closing statement this. Yeah, I should have hit this a little more. Herrock Wrangler, sure. I know I take 1 from that, but I just want to keep going through my deck. Okay, so I'm going to stop on end step. Kill that, put a counter there. So then I can block there. I am taking a bunch from this Mage Hunter. Mage Hunter's a huge issue. But I don't think I can beat this if they have even a single spell. Mortality Spear, eh? Test summoning. Yikes, another Scurrid. So I go to 3. Oh, I'm 1 point of life off. So they have 2 Scurrid colonies. They have Mortality Spear. Herrock Wrangler. Oh, I'm really close to being able to survive. Yep, they barely got me. I missed my 3rd land drop for 1 turn too many, I think. Fairly typical situation, but it's okay. So they, you know, they have a 3/4, a couple of 2/2s. Death Touch could be really nice. But we did see Lash of Malice and Mortality Spear, so maybe it's just too risky to have a 2-mana trick. We'll run it back. I don't think we saw anything too wild. A couple Scurrid colonies, Mage Hunter. That's just how it goes sometimes. I'm fine with the keep, though. We had two lands and a 1-drop, and it just didn't get there. It happens. We got there in previous games, like the game before that. We've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their cards. So far, no bombs, but Herrock Wrangler can get out of control. Mage Hunter's pretty good against us, I would say. And Scurrid Colony. So, like, their sealed deck is that I have a sealed deck where I'm kind of afraid of what they're up to because they haven't played a single card that I'm really like, oh, that's a bad card for sealed. Or, oh, that's really easy to dismiss. Kind of like when my opponent played Clever Lumimancer, I was like, oh, that's easily beatable. So we'll play first, and we will keep this hand. The Master Symmetrist is not the greatest here without a green source, but this guy's going to draw us a card. And there's 1 green source. That card's really good. Oh, yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Wow, that is very aggressively trading. I'm actually kind of shocked that they traded that. Witherbloom Apprentice, eh? Okay. Quandrix Pledge Mage. I'm afraid of Quandrix Pledge Mage. That card beats me a lot. And as I've said, my deck doesn't have a ton of interaction. Okay, so Harmonize is also terrifying. I wonder if they'll block my Callous Blood Mage if I attack into them. Probably will. I have threats of double blocks, but they probably have a spell of some kind after playing Harmonize. One has to imagine. But if they attack me, I can attack them back, so they can't really attack me with this thing, and I can just start chipping through in the air. They have a lot of cards thanks to Harmonize. Harmonize is really good. Wish my deck had Harmonize. But then again, there's no use wishing for things for your sealed deck. It's just the way it goes. The cookie crumbles the way the cookie crumbles. Sometimes the cookie crumbles favorably, sometimes it crumbles unfavorably. But it crumbles nonetheless. Okay, Spectre of the Fens, sure.
Best of luck in the open.
Thank you so much, Gahitsu. I really appreciate it. 9 months, it's a long time. I'm just focusing on the game though right now, not really looking at chat. So, they have a plains. I'll gain an extra life. You never know when it's going to be relevant. Hmm. Wow. I'm going to play this. It's higher upside. If I draw a land, I can go Restorative Burst, get back 2 things, and give all my... Oh, I can already do that. Buff all my stuff. I think I'm just going to get my cards back as soon as I can, maybe. And maybe I'd rather get this guy down first. I think I'd rather get the Witherbloom Pledge Mage down first. Because it potentially gives me an attack next turn. We're in Spectre Warfare right now. They have 6 cards. I have 2 cards, but my board state's a little bit better. I have a 5/5, so it's like cancel out one of the cards. Oh, Shadrix. The old pre-combat Shadrix. What are they going to give me? I think the board state's actually okay for me for the Shadrix. Sure, they're going to smack me for like 1 billion damage. Oh my gosh. Wow, that was a draw. That's how you draw them up, folks. I hope they don't have a protection spell, but just end me. That's how it goes sometimes, though. Sometimes they have the protection. Just have to do your best. Real bummer, but such is life. Oh, gosh, really? They had Snakeskin Veil? Yikes. They didn't have Snakeskin Veil when I was bashing my Spectre into their Spectre. Mage Hunter's Onslaught's another good card. Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. Their deck is absurd. So I can take 14 here. This is a 9/9, of course. Well, that ended quickly. I think that one was just, guess, unwinnable based on the way things lined up. They just had the perfect answer no matter what I did every turn, and then they also had like ridiculous bombers at the top end. So yeah, we're just dead. They have 7 damage in the air, and we only have 7 life points after we cast this charge through. Yeah, 9, 7. Whew. They have like our deck, but better. Like just upgrade cards across the board. Yikes, that's tough. I think I did my best that game. I had winning opportunities. There was the turn where I played the Lisette, where if the Lisette had survived for a turn, I would have been able to buff my team. I had some pressure going on them, but they just like played Shadrix, turned the game around, had an answer to my removal spell, and then just dumpstered me from there. Really tough one. Snakeskin Veil just continually devastating me. I'm not gonna. It's really funny. Snakeskin Veil was printed in Call Time as well, and I got completely blown out by that to lose one of my matches in that arena open as well, day 2, which is funny. They protected an Immersturm Predator. Oh no, is arena crashing? Well, we'll have to find out. I'll see you folks next round. I'm going to stop the recording for now. Welcome to round 4. We are going to keep this hand. 3-drop. We have a Pledge Mage we can play if we draw a couple lands. Ooh, Snakeskin Veil plus Reflective Golem. This is a combo. Protect 2 creatures in one fell swoop. Oh, all of the Golem combos. You love to see it. So they're playing black, white, and blue, and green. They're playing 4 colors. Of course they are. And they have Sparring Regimen, so that's not good. They don't have a creature to go get with this? That's wild. So this is a great combo. I'm in a lot of trouble, shall we say. This card is bonkers. If I can get a swamp, I can use my infuse. They're probably gonna introduction to annihilation my Pledge Mage. Here it comes. Shadrix, you don't say. I could play Shadrix post-combat. I think I'm gonna play Pledge Mage. They don't have other removal, or they would have used that rather than letting me draw a card. Never mind. They're just straight savage. Mage away. Please don't have a counterspell. Are you kidding me? They have negate? Oh my gosh. There's just no way to win. I'm just dead on board now. If they have a land, that is. So if they don't draw a land, could I have not drawn a swamp there so I could use my infuse with vitality this turn? That would have been real nice. Well, we're just praying here, so YOLOing. They don't have a land, it looks like. We just hope they don't draw a land next turn. But it looks like they have removal because they're the greatest. Okay, perfect. Target player creates a 2/1. Target player puts a +1 counter. Yeah, you can have your big thing be a 7/8. I don't care. I'm gonna give my stuff Death Touch anyway. I could have drawn a swamp there. Would have been real nice. Could have played my infuse, gained 2 life, not died to their stuff on board, but you know. That's how it goes sometimes. Now I'm dead to any land. Except tap land. So they have negate. Sure. Now we hit the swamp. So I'm going to let them draw a card and lose a life, and I'm going to put a counter on all my creatures. I think. Actually, I'm going to make a 2/1. They don't get to have a counter. I don't want them to have a counter on everything. So they get to draw a card and lose a life, and I get to have a 2/1, I think. Or I put a counter on all my guys. This is 3/6. Then they have to block this guy. I should have played Callous Blood Mage first, maybe. They already have to block. I'm going to gain 4 life. Got him. There's the land you needed, buddy. I am a mathematician, eh? Wow, we're going to win this game anyway, maybe? Sure. They already had a land drop this turn, though. They do not have very good lessons in their pool, it looks like. Expel. Okay, okay. I'm going to chump, because that way I can give 2 things flying. And I don't die to a combat trick. So I have 2 flyers here. Okay, that's a good sign for me. I doubt they're going to be able to answer 2 of my cards now. And they have Quandrix Pledge Mage. And Quandrix Cultivator. They have a pretty good set of cards, too. Okay, they're splashing Expel and Spectre Defense in their blue-green deck. I kind of respect it, honestly. Spectre Defense is a pretty good card. What cards do I have that might be good? That's not really useful. How much instant speed removal? So we saw Expel. Also saw Mage Duel. Arcane Subtraction. So big play could be useful. Confuse is also potentially useful. That was a tough game. I must say my mental game slipped a little bit there at points. I think all my cards are really good. I'm going to run it back. Or all my cards are the best that I have available. Like, Charge Through is typically not a card that I would run, but I have enough mini synergies that I kind of think that it boosts itself up in my deck in particular. I've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of their cards. Well, this is a hand. This is a hand. Again, only 1 black source, but we don't have that many black sources in the deck. Shadrix. Hello, Seb. Good morrow. So they don't have their white source yet. Or their black source. They could have Mage Duel. Oh, they have both. Right in a jiffy. Are they really running big play? I'll take 1 damage to avoid big play blowouts. Cultivator, okay. Nothing new so far. This Snarl is annoying. Opens me up to a lot of different stuff. So last turn was a bluff attack, it looks like. Not going to block. They're 6/6. I'm about to have Snakeskin Veil up. So this puts 3 counters on this guy if I want to. Or 2 counters onto this guy so we can eat there. Second Leyline Invocation was not good for me, I will say. Okay. So if they have +3/+3, I'm doomed. I'm not going to play around it because I think I can win this game if I just make a decent block like that and go to 1. Or threaten to go to 1, and then I Snakeskin Veil, gain a life. But a counter, gain another. That's what they had. Let's go. Right back in the game. They didn't have their negate to punish. Shadrix is coming down soon. Let's see what we can do now. Make this an 8/8 so it can't be dealt with by that. We'll make a token so we can jump. Keep the pressure up. Next turn we'll get to play Shadrix and just end the game, hopefully. I think they're going to jump here. Wow, I'm really proud of how I played this game, not going to lie. First game too, honestly. Wow, they just took it. What a brave soul. We can infuse with Vitality our Callous Blood Mage so that we get to enters the battlefield and get another pest token. Are they scrying on upkeep? I love it when opponents scry on upkeep. It's so much less threatening because you just lose all of your options on what you can play. Something like a Burian Books looks like it wins them the game, but it doesn't because of my Infuse with Vitality. I do lose to charge through. I lose to some things, you know. I'll put a counter onto this one. Boom, got the win. Yes. Whoo, that stuff is crazy. That felt like a good one to win. Felt great. Ooh, I'm back, chat. Thanks, Parahunter. Big comeback indeed. I am neutral. Thank you for the subscription. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. I'm deciding whether or not we want a second Infuse. Infuse is tricky because a 2-mana thing is much harder to find room for. Charge Through has been pretty nice. It works well with the Golem. The reason I like it is because it synergizes with Golem, Pledge Mage to gain life, Wrangler to put counters. And I just like that aspect of it, but I think it might be better to play another Infuse. We're going to make that change and move forward and see how that does for the next round. Maybe we'll side it out and change it again, but I think Infuse is a little bit more powerful. I think it's like another Snakeskin Veil as well for some of our key cards. It works with Lisette, gains us to life. But I do think Charge Through is good in the deck. We'll play first, and we will keep it. We can look for our Enter to Prophecy, so if we find a land, we can be off to the races. We could have also gotten Expanded Anatomy, which would have been really funny to start beating him with a 3/3. Jeez Louise. Well, we can't take that, but we will take Shadrix because we can actually cast it. And we're fine double blocking here, I'd say. Nice little Trader-Rooney. Fetch me my Pest Summoning, I guess. And then Shadrix can start putting counters on him. Witherbloom Apprentice. So we've seen Leech. Okay, round 5. Leech Fanatic. No blocks. Wow, they have a lot of life. Just give me a break, buddy. Honor Troll. Cram Session. Witherbloom. Apprentice. This is where not having environmental sciences really screws me up, because I can't get my land to fix my mana screw situation. And having to play 2 planes is clearly a big downside. But if I do draw a forest this coming turn, or if I draw a land to get my Shadrix going, of course I draw the absolute blank, but you know. Oh, I just need any land to get this Shadrix rolling. They see me rolling. My Shadrix. They have to have something. Uh-oh. So if I don't draw a land this turn, I just lose because I can't cast a spell the following turn. Thank goodness we're in it. Post-combat Shadrix. None of the options really favored me in that situation. Sorry, you don't say. So I kind of want to draw a card. So I guess I can give them a 2/1. Get out of there, Nasari. And gonna get a fractal. Big draw. I'm going to cast this in the next turn. I can go Golem plus Crash Through. I think I'm going to let them draw a card, and I'm going to make a 2/1. I think I just wanted an answer to this flyer in case they kill my guy. This card's really complicated to use. Because I want to start putting counters on all my guys. That's going to be the dream. How do I see the distribution? This is such a horribly made card. So I assume that they are dealing 3 to this, 1 to this, and tapping the other 2. Yeah, so they must be... Okay, the red one's coming second, so that's tap 2 for permanence. So we're tapping this and this, and they're dealing 3 to this and 1 to that. So I can charge through. Put a counter there. Okay, we're alive. I take 4, 6, 8, 12 this turn. No, I block there. 4, 8, 10. I'm going to be gaining some serious life points here. Sure. Oh, nice. I'm going to let them put a counter on all their guys. It looks bad, but I think it'll work out really well for me. Oh, I need to start writing down what they have. They have a Magma Opus. That's huge to know about. And they're scrying. That's really good for me for now. I'll keep track. Are they scrying to the top? Top. Okay. So if I put a counter here, I give this Death Touch and this Death Touch and put 2 counters there. Just get completely dumpstered, opponent. That's what we're talking about. I can get back. Lisette. And eye twitch. And I will put the counter onto my golem. I even have backups in case they have a big board sweeper. Okay, Introduction to Annihilation. Sure. Sure. Sure, Tazimir. Tanazir. I'm just gonna hold the Lisette. They block there, they're dead. They have to have 2 removal spells. Okay, they're not dead. So they have Mortality Spear and Arrogant Poet. Okay. Let's just double check that I got everything. So they have a Burying Books. They have a Nasari. They have a really sweet deck, but it's got tough mana. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more cards. So I've seen 12 of their cards. Yep. They have Environmental Sciences and an Intro to Annihilation. They have a Silver Quill Campus, Prismari Campus, and a Quandrix Campus. Okay. So, they have multiple must-kill threats. They have Tanazir. They have Nasari. They have... I guess those are the 2 things that I have to kill. And then they also have big Leyline Invocations. Honestly, this Infused with Vitality was so clutch for me. But they're probably not going to walk into that again. We need to be prepared and ready to give them some trickery again. They don't have any buybacks from the graveyard, it doesn't look like. They have Magma Opus. They also have a lot of late game stuff and potentially bad mana. So maybe we could punish them by being aggressive. I don't think Charge Through is what I want. It gets wrecked by Burying Books a little bit and Mortality Spear. So I don't think I want a second one. We're just going to run it back. Oh my gosh, that was a tough game. We've seen a lot of their cards, though, so we can make adjustments. So I'm just going to mark they have Magma Opus. They have Tanazir, Mortality Spear, Burying Books, Nasari. They might choose to be on the draw, honestly. My deck didn't come out of the gates too fast. Okay, well, now I'm going to come out of the gates really fast. This is perfect. This is the exact sort of hand I want against them because it's not like light on value. Like Eye Twitch can get me a card later, but it's going to deal like 6 damage to them. They haven't shown me any small flyers. And this is great because it can get me my Necrotic or my Introduction to Annihilation. And that's really good. Leech Fanatic, sure. So they're playing all 5 colors. This is a trade we're happy to make. They were at like 1,000,000 life too last game. They have a lot of life gain. Okay, Professor's Warning. Good to know about. I wish I'd known they had that, but... Oh, no. Honor Troll is a yikes. So now I can block the Honor Troll. They missed a land drop, it looks like. Professor's Warning is good to know about, though. I guess there's no reason not to double block. Oh, I didn't even realize the Honor Troll was attacking. Yikes. That was bad. It has Vigilance, but still, I couldn't really see that very well. Okay. So these are my 2 removal spells that can take care of Tanazir et al. I'm not going to be able to beat them down. They're at 31. So we're going to just play it slow. Did I see Biomathematician last game? I did not. They are really far from Nasari, though. Safe. I'm going to get rid of this because now I can start bashing, I think. And I have this for Tanazir, and they're miles away from Nasari. I've used 3 of my learn cards, but I can get one of them back. Yeah, I knew they'd get a mountain there. Facilitating an attack for 6 every turn is quite nice. That's a good draw. I'm gonna make a 5/5 this turn. Sure. I could have done this pre-combat. Gained an extra life. So they have a second cram session. They could get Annihilation. Magma Opus is really scary. The fact that I was able to beat that card is really kind of wild. Okay. That's big. They can block with everything to trade. So I've got a big board state. They probably got some cards they can't cast. Got a removal spell for if they have Tanazir. Or Nasari, but they can't cast Nasari yet. Bayou Groff, sure. I don't want to cast Fumes because then I can't cast Pledge Mage. So Magma Opus costs 8, so they still can't cast that. Sure. If they eat the Blood Mage, they take 9, 11. Okay, I'm out of stuff. Please don't have Magma Opus. That's a draw. They're going to tap some of my stuff. Kill some of my stuff. Or attempt to, at least. Oh, I really wish I hadn't drawn a land there. Magma Opus is a heck of a card. So they're going to tap the 2 ones that are in blue and deal all their damage to this one. And make a 4/4. So I can infuse with Vitality to save my Symmetrist. Or I can get creative. I think I'm going to... I wish they'd gone for a different division there. I think I have to let this die because I'd rather draw a card off of this thing, trading. No, that's not. And they draw 2 cards. Yeah, that thing's just a beating. If they had missed a land drop that turn, I think I would have won. I would have been able to get enough damage in. Oh, that's tough. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Sure. I'll gain an extra 2 life. Evasion is really nice. Put it on top. They still can't cast Nasari. That's an ouch. But if they attack me, I can attack them back for 4. Oh. Four, 7. No, I'm not going to kill them. I'll just go. They don't have any creatures, so they don't get anything. I could have put them to 1, but that doesn't really matter here, I don't think. Because now any of my creatures are going to be lethal, because I'll make them lose a life, and I'll...
Wow, did I just beat Magma Opus twice? What? Feels like it.
My goodness.
Yes! Woo! 2 in a row against Magma Opus.
Just absolutely absurd.
Wow, I can't believe it. They cast Magma Opus, we just still won.
Little post game with chat. Whew. Thanks, I am neutral for the subscription. I don't know if I thanked you. Wow, that key moment where we buffed up our where we decided to let the Master Symmetrist die so that we could get an extra card off of our guy trading with their 4/4, our Callous Blood Mage trading. Wow, that was a key moment in that game, I think. Wowza. It's wild. 10,000 gems. That's like $50 worth of gems. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. And this is just straight up $100 worth of gems. Onward! The deck is sweet. It's been playing out really well. It's been fun. Yeah, I decided to go up to a second copy of Infuse, and I was very happy that I did for that match, because it was clutch. I originally had it as a charge through, but I think Infuse is just a little bit better, because it has an actual impact, whereas charge just draws me towards other cards. Okay, chat. We win the die roll in round 6. I am recording, right? I am. Let's go. So we will play first. And a keeper for sure. We have all our colors. We have a 2-drop on the play. Whew. Looks like they might be considering a mulligan. Nope. We'll definitely play a forest next in case we draw Quandrix Pledge Mage. Swamp. They could have Lash, but they didn't play a Lash, so they don't have Lash. Leech Fanatic, okie doke. Sure, we will definitely trade if they give us the option. A lot of lands. We still have this trade available. Same colors as us. Maybe they have a Shatrix too. So now they trade. Molder and Karok. Not gonna overthink this. Just gonna play my Karok Wrangler. Which should have protection from Karoks, but you know, it doesn't. I'm a little bit afraid of Mage Duel or just removal in general. But I can't, like, not play my 5-drop on turn 5. I have other things I can do. I can eventually draw things. I feel like they have Mage Duel, though. Cultivate. Okay. Wow, that's a game-changing moment. I can start putting counters on my Poet. Wow, they're playing 4 colors. Of course they are. I'm going to do that, that. I feel like they might have a if it dies card, but they do not. I'm going to get Introduction to Prophecy so I can keep this. Actually, I'm just going to get a Fractal Summoning. Make a big fractal. Big old fractal. They could have a board sweeper or something. Fractal's only getting bigger. If I got an Intro to Prophecy, that would have been interesting for sure. Pledge Mage is scary. So they have Witherbloom, Pledge Mage. If they attack me, I'm pretty happy. I think. I shouldn't have used all my swamps to cast this thing. I don't know why I did that. It seems a little bit odd. They have a tough decision, it looks like. Oh, they also have Cultivate. Are they disconnected? I'm going to assume they have removal for one of my cards. But I put the counter there, so now I have a couple 4/4s. This thing's dangerous, because so they kind of have to kill this, so I didn't want to put any extra counters on it. And this thing can be lethal on its own as a 4/3 flyer. And I still have Fractal Summoning to be huge. Not gonna I'm gonna sack the ground creature. It's easier for them to deal with it. They have Expel. Wow, Max punished for that garbage tapping. Wow. Absolutely horrific. Oh, that was brutal. So they have Umbral Juke. Quandrix Command. And Field Trip. How do they have a timeout? It's wild. Okay. They're going to hit me for 4. Sure. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3. Everything is down. Uh-oh. That could be scary. Okay, I have to figure out what they have in their hand. If I draw Snakeskin Veil, I think I win. I can stop whatever they're up to. Well, I'm screwed. That was a good top deck for sure. Great top deck. Definitely better than Charge Through would have been. Yes! He gets the game win. This is where if I had better sideboard options, I would be able to sideboard in like anti-flyer stuff. But we do not have better sideboard options, so they have a closing statement that's good to know about. And then they have an expanded anatomy. Umbral Juke is really good against Biograph, so I don't really want Biograph. This thing doesn't line up particularly well against Leech Fanatic, but it does line up well against Molder and Karok and stuff. Just gonna run it back. We saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 of their cards. They're all beatable. Well, we're gonna keep this. You kind of have to keep hands in limited, but okay, that's a good start. So now we can cast everything in our hand. Pledge Mage can do some serious work. Fanatic. Okay, we've seen that before. We're gonna save this Charge Through to get a counter on the Pledge Mage. I'm actually okay with them casting Cultivate. It's not great because they get to fix their colors. They get blue. I don't know what they were splashing. Oh, they were splashing blue for Quandrix Command. But it means that I can play Pledge Mage without being under too much pressure to immediately have to block. Oh, and if I can survive till next turn, infuse and charge through can keep him safe. Keep you safe, Pledge Mage. Zoomancy, sure. I am a little bit worried about Umbral Juke potentially. Oh, nice planes, so I can kill their guy. What do I absolutely have to kill in their deck? Spectre of the Fens is a good one to kill, but it's not literally necessary. Next turn I can go Witherbloom and Eye Twitch. I'm lacking on black sources to do Eye Twitch and something else this turn. But I'm going to kill this with Closing Statement and hold up Snakeskin Veil. Sure. I now know that they have Professor's Warning. They would have cast Umbral Juke if they had it earlier, I think. So I'm not going to play around it for a turn. I'm just going to play Witherbloom and hold up Snakeskin Veil. Okay. So Spectre is the problem now. But I can get a removal spell for it when my Eye Twitch dies. Jeez Louise, one swamp is killing me. I could play both of these things and be fine. definitely want to hold up Snakeskin Veil. So it's going to be a zapping war. We're both going to be zapping each other. But I'm going to gain a life from this Pledge Mage, which is going to be helpful in the zapping war. And now I get to zap first. And as we all know, he who zaps first zaps last. Have to make the trade. Ooh. Looks like I got something notified. Wow, there's the swamp. Perfect. Perfect timing. Oh, Magic hosted me. That's really kind of them. Appreciate that. Pure top deck war, but I have a slightly better board state, I'd say. Bottom? Sure. Their scries are less useful when we're both going to be activating Spectre a lot. Wow, they're scrying? That's bold. Very bold. Okay, let's just double check. They have Professor. We have Spectre of the Fens on the list. They have 2 of those. They have a Leech Magnetic. Killed their Zoomancy Professor. They're scrying. Oh my gosh. I guess they can almost double activate this thing. It's terrifying. And they have 10 mana. They're 2 lands away. They scry to the top. That's not good. Not good at all. Okay. Some of their best cards were non-creatures. So, okay, they get it. Eye Twitch. Sure. Oh, that's a scary card. I'm gonna have to let the Eye Twitch hit me if it attacks. Because they have expanded anatomy in their sideboard, so that just makes this thing a huge problem. But then I can get an answer to it. They'll go chump, chump. Or they'll just single chump. I have to attack with my 5/5s. That's my advantage right now. They're going to get expanded anatomy, presumably. And I'll get to chump with my eye twitch. Then I'll intro to annihilation this thing. I assume they're going to zap me. They could even put the counters on the Spectre. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, that's an ouch. And now I'm dead on board. Dragon Guard Elite. And they have a Fractal. 1 life point makes all the difference sometimes. Wowza, that was a close game. They have a Rise of Extus. Did I write down eye twitch? A lot of good stuff they have. They have a pretty good deck. I think we're just going to run it. It's been working so far. And I don't think we have any like major adjustments matchup-wise. Maybe I wasn't supposed to let them get a card with eye twitch. I figured they were just going to get expanded anatomy. But then them also top decking some. And then I would be able to crack my eye twitch and be able to kill one of their guys. Probably their flyer. But I didn't factor in the fact that they had... they could top deck something. Was I just dead if they had a kill spell, though? Because they could have buffed the Dragon Guard. No, because they need a kill spell plus the buff on Dragon Guard. Oh. Regardless, really close game. Real close. Yeah, I could have attacked with just 1 5/5. That is also an option for sure. I'm looking at chat because between the games. Whew. Okay, I'm on the play again. Let's hope for a good hand. Maybe our Shadrix will show up and we'll get to win with that. On the play. Good hand here. And they're mulliganing. Big game. They have a weird 4-colored brew here, so maybe they'll have to mulligan twice and just give us a freebie. But even one mulligan's nice for us. We have seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 16 of their cards, which is a pretty reasonable number. Okay, Witherbloom Pledge Mage is really nice. Eye Twitch can do good things. Yeah, both of those would be good. I think I'm going to take the Pledge Mage. The big guy. Prophecy could be good. Pest Summoning something to do immediately, but it's not necessarily the best matchup for Pest Summoning. This card's always good. I think I'm going to get Prophecy, so I have something to do next turn. That can like help me develop my mana, figure out what's going on with my cards. Okay, Leech Fanatic. We're saving this for the 5 mana mode. Yeah, we'll keep both of those. I want to make sure I can jam 2 of these guys back to back. They'll gain some life, but it's okay. Okay, Field Trip. We've seen that already. Okay. Impulse. Seen that before. That's a good time to have Zoomancy, Professor. Oh, it's such a gruesome sight. You hate to see it. Oh, brutal. It was pretty much that or bust. Rise of Exodus, it's the only removal spell we've seen that can kill that. Again, with just the max punishment on not having enough, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, I needed the swamp. Sometimes you need the swamp. You just can't get it to save your life. Ah. So I'm just toast to that next turn if I don't do this, I think. Oh, if I had drawn a swamp, I would have been in fine shape. Oh. brutal. If I trade there, I take 4, I go to 6. Next turn I play Pledge Mage, they kill it, I lose. If I don't block, I go to 2. Next turn I play Symmetrist, and assuming I draw a land, I can then play Infuse. They exile Symmetrist, I block, I go to gain 2, I'm dead. So we're gonna block like this. Maybe if I draw a removal spell, I can be fine. Can't cast most of my removal. There's the swamp. Just beautiful. This will gain me 4 life. I'll go up to 10. I'll get back Callous Blood Mage. I could also play the Cauldron half. Then I could make something mid-combat, trade with Leech Fanatic. We're not out of it yet. They might even enter to Annihilation it. Goodbye, Shadrix. So I'll take 4, I'll go to 2. This thing's going to keep growing, though, is the problem. I can find another removal spell for that later. Maybe they can't cast any cards because they've just got horrible mana. That's a thought. Wow. So I think I can play my own Spectre of Fens, maybe? No, I just would rather play my Reach Creature, I think. Please forget this has Reach. Nope. We're still alive. I have to get rid of the Spectre. What do they have? They have a Fractal Summoning, they have Expanded Anatomy, and they have Enter to Annihilation. They've already used Annihilation, an expanded enemy, so they'll get fractal summoning if I attack them and give them an eye twitch thing. So I don't want them to have a fractal summoning right now. They don't have any instants, I don't think. So they don't have a way to spend their mana, and I do. I have to keep playing land drop so I can potentially double activate. Gotta be said, I thought I was dead this game, and I'm pretty happy with how I rallied back. Maybe I wasn't supposed to discard Shadrix, but at the time I couldn't cast it. And I think I needed every card available to me. I twitch. Nine. 10, so I can make an 8/8. So what have we seen so far? We've seen their Leech Fanatic. We've seen the Umbral Juke. We've seen Field Trip. We've seen Adventurous Impulse, Eye Twitch, Rise of Exodus, Expanded Anatomy, Annihilation, One Spectre of the Fens. They're attacking me. No blocks. That was a bad attack. Because they could have Quandrix Command. Oh, of course they have Quandrix Command. Yeah. Of course they drew their island just then. Gosh darn it. Well, they've used Quandrix Command now. They've got their Quandrix Pledge Mage rolling. They've used Professor of Zoomancy. Really don't want to give him a massive fractal right now. Now I can double activate. Kind of wishing that I had killed this thing instead of the Leech Fanatic now. So they probably have closing statement, which is a problem. Big draw. So I assume they have closing statements, so they'll kill my Spectre of the Fens. Then I'll have to find an answer to this eye twitch. No, I can block the eye twitch. Wow, they killed Lisette. That's wild. So they've used their closing statement, which I knew they had. Okay. Back to the holding pattern. I'm worried about them having Professor's Warning. Dang it, there goes Lisette. They only have 4.5 minutes, so maybe they'll time out if the game keeps going. Oh, they're going to be able to use Professor's Warning at some point here. But I need to make sure I get max value out of this counter. Really? Okay. Looks like it's giving them priority. So they're going to hit me for 5. They had 2 closing statements. If only I'd drawn Lisette a couple turns earlier. Feel like they have Professor's Warning. I can drain them for 4. I feel like they would be attacking with the Pledge Mage if they had Professor's Warning, though. So I'm going to play this, and then hold up Spectre of the Fens activation a single time. Or closing statement if I need it. So if I zap them for 2, they go to 8. I attack them with all of these, and they die. Now I just hope they don't have Professor's Warning. Oh. Could I have forced it out if I'd blocked differently? If they were at 8, I could still win. Because I would attack with everything. Oh, they were just sitting on it. I knew they were sitting on something. They're at 11, and they have 2 activations up. I knew they were going to draw one of those eventually. Close one. I fought hard. They had a minute and a half left on their clock. That was tough. If I had been able to kill this Plains, I would have won. Because the 2 closing statements were really what did me in there at the end. And, gosh. That was so tough. I was fighting and scrapping and fighting and scrapping. Oh, gosh. That was tough. Hard fought battle. Whew. I needed to draw better spells down the stretch that... I need to draw another removal. Do I have any more removal spells? Yeah, I do too, I think. Did I use my Rise of Extus? No. So I have 7, 11, 12, 13. So my rest of my deck is 4 lands, I believe. So the rest of my deck is 4 lands, Rise of Extus. Ooh, that was an ouch. If I had gotten one more spell that game, I think I might have been able to seal the deal. The 2 Arrogant Poets came at a pretty awkward time as well. I also had, having to discard Shadrix was annoying, but I think necessary. If I could have drawn my other Infuse with Vitality, I think I could have had it, maybe. I knew they had Snakeskin Veil there, but I think I had to go for it. Maybe I was supposed to block to force them to use Snakeskin Veil on their Pledge Mage. Oh. Because I thought it was Professor's Warning. So if I double block there, I still don't think they use it though, because they were a good player, so they know the important aspects of the game and that the flyers are what matter. But I maybe could have made that trade happen. I don't think they use it either. Wow, that was a heck of a game. Remember when I was back to the wall and I had to use my Pestilent Cauldron and discard my Shadrix? That was really a game-changing moment when I had to discard the Shadrix. Because if I could have had Shadrix in my hand still or something, I would have maybe been able to get it. Also, Pestilent Cauldron turns out would have been pretty good in that late-game stall. I didn't want iTwitch to die because I don't think I could have beaten like a 12-12 Fractal there. But also the turn where I decided to trade with the Leech Fanatic that was a 4-4 instead of the Pledge Mage that was a 3-3. That was tough because I knew that the Pledge Mage would grow, but I figured I would draw another interaction spell or removal like a closing statement or something like that to deal with it before it really took over. And I felt like every life point was going to matter down the stretch there. But if I had been able to get rid of this thing instead, that would have been better. But they would have been able to gain life with their Leech Fanatic then, so it would have been a higher life total. Oh, man. The fact that they had 2 closing statements was really bad for me. I wish I could have had a removal spell to kill their emergent sequence. It would have been a really sick line. Ugh. Close match. Close match. Close one. Oh, I fought hard. Tried my best. The fact that they had 2 closing statements was really bad for me. The fact that I got off on the wrong foot in terms of my mana. Even earlier in the game, if I had drawn a second swamp sooner, I would have been able to do some really cool stuff with my, what's it called? My Infuse with Vitality. Their Umbral Juke helped me. Ooh, heck of a match. I think my last 4 cards in the deck were 4 lands, one of which was Silverquill Campus, which I wouldn't have been using anyway. I also had a Karok Wrangler, which would have been pretty great. I had a Charge Through, Infuse with Vitality. I had 4 lands. Charge with Vitality. Infuse Vitality, Charge Through, I think. Definitely this Karok Wrangler. That was such a close game. Such a close game. I think it was more so what they drew. If they hadn't had a Snakeskin Veil, I would have won, which is wild. If they'd had Professor's Warning, I still would have lost. So they had two outs to that one, I guess. If I hadn't had to use my Pestilent Cauldron and I could have used it as Restorative Burst, I think I could have won. Also, if they hadn't gotten their planes literally the turn... If I had drawn Lisette a turn earlier, I think I would have won as well. Because getting that guy going would have been nice. I would have been able to put more counters on my stuff. Really a close match. Wild. That is going to do it for this video, though. Pretty fun run in day 2 of the Arena Open. Honestly, the matches were all super close. We had a nice little bit of momentum going. We made some crazy plays to beat Magma Opus. Overall, just really good matches and a lot of fun. I really like high stakes sealed. I think I'm pretty good at it. I'd like to think, and lots of close decisions there down the stretch. I think I played my best though, and that's all I can ask for. I'm actually really surprised that I survived that long in the game and had a position to win because I didn't really. It took me a while to spot the Pestilent Cauldron, discard, make a pest, use my Infuse. That was a crazy line. But yeah, overall 4-2 record, nothing to be ashamed of. I'm pretty proud of it. And I felt like the deck really, my mana was not great, and that was a really big detriment. I think I lost a couple of games, like maybe 2 games, because my mana was bad, and I just didn't have fixing. Also, my pool, I had a lot of cards in my pool that I wish I could have played, like Quandrix Command, things like that. Also, the fact that they top decked their island to get Quandrix Command going, the turn that I was like shields down on my like whatever card I had that would have been good against it was really annoying. It was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. They drew their island. But I mean, they got to draw something eventually. But yeah, And yeah, they like it was the turn that I tapped out for my fractal summoning, right? They top decked Island and just went Quandra's Command, blow you to smithereens. It was just like, you got to be kidding. The pool was solid. The fact that I couldn't play a lot of my more powerful cards because of my lack of fixing, I just had no fixing. So this mana base is pretty trash. I only have 7 black sources, and my deck has a lot of black cards in it. That's why I never had double black, because I just lacked black because I have so many double green cards, and like having to hold up Snakeskin Veil, that I really need 2 green sources. Like Lisette's also a double green card, so keep that in mind. So like I have multiple, like 3 double green cards to play early in the game, so I need 8 green sources, but at the same time, 3 planes is like the bare minimum I need to cast these cards. So I just always had, I got screwed on black sources a lot because of the way my deck had to be constructed. But yeah, really a fun time. If you made it all the way to the end of this video and you were watching it on YouTube, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag scrapping it out, because we battled hard. We had a lot of scrappy games, and overall 4-2 is a pretty good record. I think this pool is definitely solid. We have some good cards, but the lack of fixing, like literally any fixing, really held it back a little bit. Like even if we'd had a campus guide, one campus guide would have let us go down a plains, up a swamp, and also given us access to more colored sources. So something like that would have made a big difference. But that, or like a letter of acceptance, all of those things would have been helpful. But overall, really a lot of fun, and 4-2 is a pretty good record. I'm not going to be complaining about that. It's hard to do well in these events because everyone's trying their hardest. They had to do pretty well to make it in to day 2, and I'm overall very happy with how it went. Lots of good fortune, and got to play all these cards. They all performed well, and I was really happy with how the deck played out. That is going to do it for this draft video, though. If you, I'm not draft video, arena open video. If you're watching on YouTube, remember to hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you want to catch more of my content, and it's free to do both of those things if you would like to catch more of my stuff. You can check out the Twitch stream live at twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas. You can support my work directly via Patreon at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. And if you would like to support me and you have Amazon Prime, you can even subscribe to the Twitch stream at no extra cost to yourself. Just link the 2 accounts, Amazon and Twitch, and then you can use a Prime subscription. So cool stuff there. That's going to do it for this video, though. A lot of fun. If you made it all the way till the end, I guess I already gave the hashtag to say, hashtag scrapping it out. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff. We even did some cool stuff with Reflective Golem. Reflective Golem was so key to beating Magma Opus twice, which is kind of wild. That's going to do it for this draft video, though. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.